Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. Look, if you're sitting in a boardroom right now, or honestly, if you make any decisions regarding packaging, manufacturing, or retail in the Philippines, listen up. This might literally be the most critical briefing you receive all year. We're looking at a monumental, legally binding shift in corporate accountability regarding plastic waste. I am absolutely thrilled to help unpack this for you today, so we can clearly see the path forward together. Okay, let's dive into this, because the rules of the game have fundamentally changed. In the Philippines, what you manufacture, import, or sell, you are now legally responsible for after it is thrown away. Just think about the gravity of that for a second. The life cycle of your product and your liability for it no longer ends at the cash register. So this whole concept is called Extended Producer Responsibility, or EPR. It's the legal framework holding companies directly accountable for their post-consumer waste. And I really want to stress this to all the executives and business leaders watching. This is no longer just some voluntary corporate social responsibility initiative that you put in a glossy annual report to look good. Not anymore. This is a binding framework. It is now the law.
And this brilliantly illustrates Section 1, the new Law of Waste, Republic Act 11898, which was signed into law in 2022. Moving right along to Section 2, the Philippines' plastic reality, from boardroom to ocean.
To truly understand why this strict new environmental law was enacted, we have to look at the massive scale of the problem it's designed to solve. The data shows the Philippines is one of the top plastic polluters in the world. Because of our geographic reality, our rivers basically act as conveyor belts, carrying waste directly into the ocean. But here is the critical business connection. For decades, local communities have borne the heavy environmental and financial costs of packaging decisions made far away inside corporate boardrooms.
But Republic Act 11898 says, that ends now. The days of making a cheap packaging decision and simply letting the resulting waste become a local community's problem, those are officially over. The landscape has entirely shifted.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 3, your corporate responsibility, the shift in burden.
So, the crucial point is this threshold, 10,000 kilograms of plastic packaging per year. To put that into perspective, that's roughly equivalent to 500,000 standard plastic water bottles. If you hit that mark, you're legally classified as what the Act calls an obliged enterprise. This is the absolutely critical metric you need to be constantly monitoring. And if you hit that metric, you must develop and implement EPR programs. Generating that volume triggers an immediate mandatory legal requirement to build out these specific corporate structures to manage your waste. There's no opting out of this one.
What exactly does that program look like? Well, you're now legally responsible for 3 actionable pillars: actively collecting, recovering, and diverting your plastic packaging waste away from landfills and waterways. It's a comprehensive mandate, and it really forces a total reevaluation of your entire supply chain and waste management logistics.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it highlights our past reliance on external sectors. Historically, we just expected others to handle this waste. But under this law, it is not the government, it's not the local community, and it's not the informal waste sector. It is you, your company. The solitary responsibility now rests squarely on the manufacturer and the enterprise.
Which brings us to Section 4, compliance or hidden liability, the cost of waiting.
Right now, we're seeing 2 very different corporate realities out there. Proactive companies are building their EPR programs today, putting themselves well ahead of the compliance curve and future-proofing their operations. Meanwhile, delayed companies are simply waiting. But what our source material makes super clear is that by waiting, these companies are blindly accumulating unseen liabilities on their balance sheets. Every single day you wait, that hidden liability just keeps growing.
So I leave you with this climactic question. What is your company's EPR compliance status? If you're a corporate leader, a manager, or a stakeholder watching this explainer, you need to urgently ponder your own legal and financial survival in this new regulatory landscape. Do you actually know where your company stands today? Or are you operating with massive blind spots?
We've covered a tremendous amount of crucial, game-changing ground today. All of these vital insights regarding Republic Act 11898 come directly from Sustain PH Studio. I highly encourage you to follow Sustain PH Studio for daily sustainability tips made specifically to help Philippine businesses navigate these complex waters. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, keep learning, stay compliant, and ask yourself, when the auditors come knocking, will your company be a leader or a liability?